All right, guys. Marky Mark here. Hope everybody's doing well. It is a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening here in my section of the Philippines, which is Dipolog City. And I'm going to do something a little different today, guys. Actually have my mic on, and I'm actually walking down some streets that I have never been on before. I don't know where they're going. I don't know what they're leading to. So if anything happens to Marky Mark, y'all call 911, or I don't know how you would do it. If you're in the United States and you see something go down, call 911 or something. I don't even know if they got 911 over here, but yeah, I'm just gonna walk, guys. I don't know the name of the street, but I've never been down this way. It looks like it goes a long way down this hill, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, what we can find. And I'm just gonna talk to you guys. I'm just gonna talk to you while we're doing this, and whatever comes to my mind, we'll talk about. But yeah, these are streets that I've never been on since I've been to Dipolog. I've been here in the Philippines about 21 days now, and I'm about to cross this intersection here. I'm in no rush whatsoever. There's some buildings down there. It looks like they're 4 or 5 stories tall. We're going to check those out, see what that's all about. Petrol station here. Doesn't look like it's open. The mountains are back there. I don't know if you guys can see the mountains. Way back in the background, guys. That's where I'm going to be in a few weeks. Because I'm going to conquer that 3,003 steps I told you about, that I dedicated to my dad, and I dedicated to all the diabetics out there, especially the ones that are suffering from neuropathy. So yeah, just enjoy the sights and the sounds and the horns and the dogs and the roosters and the motorcycles and you're going to see some bikes go by with literally up to 6 people on the bike. Literally up to 6 people on the bikes, guys. It's amazing how creative our Filipino brothers and sisters can get and can be. But they have clothing stores everywhere. Yeah, look, I'm seeing this for the first time just like you are. So I may get surprised just like you. Yeah, but this should be fun, man. This should be fun. I'm going to do about a 20-minute, 30-minute max walk. I think I've got that time left on my device here where I can record things and so forth. I'm not going to put the camera on any individual one person or whatever unless they give me permission. But lots of trikes and stuff out here, guys. Yeah, let me see if I can get across this intersection real quick. But this is Dipolog, guys. This is Dipolog. Going by a hotel here. I just left Jollibee, and I met a wonderful lady. She might actually see this. She might actually see this YouTube here. But I met a wonderful lady in Jollibee, and comes to find out she is a broker. In addition to other things, and so she's going to be looking for and helping me find an apartment, studio apartment, something like that, 1-bedroom apartment. But she's going to be helping me find an apartment because I may be ready. I really like Dipolog, guys. My first choice is Dipolog. My second choice is Davao City. But I really would like to stay here at my first choice. But and I like the hotel that I'm staying at. Don't get me wrong. I like the hotel that I'm staying at. But it is, it can get a bit pricey after a while. It can get a bit pricey after a while. So I told her that if she can find, and the thing is, next week is Holy Week. So it's going to be kind of tough. Next week is Holy Week. Everybody's going to be doing their worship and all. And a lot of people are going to be doing the 3,003 steps, emulating the steps that Jesus Christ took. So it's going to be a wild week next week. My first experience, this will be my first experience with Holy Week. So it's going to be pretty cool. But I told her, she happens to run across if she happens to run across any one bedroom apartment or studio apartment or anything like that, y'all see all those lines up there, all those wires? That's a lot, isn't it? That's the Philippines, guys. All those wires. Somebody told me that they were internet wires. I don't know, but that's a lot of wires. I wouldn't touch one of them because you don't know which one's live and which one's not. So, but yeah, and something that I noticed, guys, something that I noticed is that the further you go into the province, the further you go into the deep part of poverty, if you will, or the longer the women's hair gets. I noticed that. In the city, there's a lot of short hair. I mean, they're nice hairstyles, don't get me wrong. But I noticed that, wow, there's a lot of activity going on around here. I love it. But I noticed that the deeper that they are in the province, the longer and more beautiful their hair is. And I'm a hair guy, guys. I love hair. I know that's a side note. I know that's just a side note. I kind of went off topic there. But yeah, that's just something I noticed since I've been here. I'm gonna notice a lot of other things. But I tell you what you'll find in the Philippines, guys, at least in the areas like that I go to, you're gonna find a ton of banks. Okay, you're gonna find a ton of banks. You're gonna find a ton of pharmacies. Okay, and you're also gonna notice all of the stores. There's a lot of duplication. So like, if there's a store off the sidewalk that sells juice, then the store right next to it, the booth right next to it also sells juice. And the thing is, they sell the same kind of juice. Or if one store is selling eggs, you know, what is it, balut or bulat or whatever, the booth right next to it is selling the exact same thing. It's wild. It's like, you know, they don't bother about competition or anything. It's like, okay, these next three booths right here, we're selling socks and shirts and bras, and everybody's selling the same thing. And the weird thing is, all of them be making money. It's not like all of them just going to one. They mix it up, man. They mix it up. You know, the Philippine way is very unique. I mean, they figured out a way throughout all of this poverty. Oh, there's another Jollibee's, guys. That's the one. That's the one that I was asking the receptionist about that stays open for 24 hours. This is the one she must have been talking about. So I'm going to walk all the way down there, at least to that Jollibee's, guys. I'm going to go all the way down. I just left Jollibee's. I'm going to tell you something. The chicken here in the Philippines tastes better than the chicken in the States. I think the chicken in the States has all those fillers and, what do you call them, steroids to hurry up and grow the chickens faster. Because I know when I go to KFC in the States, or at least in North Carolina where I was, it's like the meat would fall off the bone before you could even bite it. It was so tender. It was like it wasn't even developed yet. And after you eat it, or at least after I ate it, I didn't even feel full. I felt like I basically was eating Jell-O. It was weird. I was like, how come KFC is not as good as it used to be when I was a kid? But then when I come over here to the Philippines, it's totally different. You actually have to chew the chicken. You can taste the meat. And then whatever seasonings that they put on the meat, it just makes everything that much better. You know? And so I noticed that at KFC. But then I also noticed it when I went to Jollibee. The chicken there just tastes so much better than any chicken that I've had in the United States, in North Carolina or whatever. It's real chicken, guys. So I don't know. If for no other reason, you gotta come to the Philippines for the chicken. You gotta come. And they always have two. They have spicy and they have original. Now I haven't tried the spicy yet. But they're original. Their original is kicking, y'all. Their original, hello, sir. Their original is absolutely kicking. So there's the Jollibee way up there. You see the sign. So we're gonna walk down to the Jollibee. Here's a hotel here. They've got some less expensive hotels than what I'm staying at. I'm staying at one of the more pricey ones. Not expensive, but it's a good hotel. And y'all, I've never been on this street before. I don't know what lies ahead once I get down this hill. But anyway, that mountain that you see, you probably can't see it, but there's a mountain back there. That's where I'm going to be headed to do the 3,003 steps to the top. So I raised the camera up there, guys, because I was walking by a group of people, and I want to abide by all the laws in the Philippines so that I don't get in any trouble. The only way I'm going to put people actually on here is if they ask to be on here. If they want to say hi, to the vlog or something. Here's a shoe store here. Nice shoe store. Got all the shoes you could ask for. And guys, there's some nice motorcycles. These bikes are everywhere. I've seen some really nice ones too. And they know how to drive these bad boys, man. They be maneuvering. And I'm talking about people look like they in their 70s or 80 years old, be willing and dealing with these bikes. I'm like, man, I'm afraid at my age to get on one. And these folks, man, they ride them like I ride a bicycle. I mean, it's incredible. So we're getting closer to Jollibee's now. There's an old vacant building right there. There's the wires I was talking about, guys. I don't know how they know which wire goes to what, to which. And here's the trikes. Here's the trikes, wheeling and dealing, man. They know how to drive them things. You got them delivering food, different places. And like I told you all, here in the Philippines, man, almost every store and restaurant has an armed guard. Now, some of them have unarmed guards. There's another bank there, and there's another bank right beside it. Remember I said when there's a business, here's a dog here just chilling, minding his business. Yeah. But remember I said when there's a business, there's usually 2 or 3 other businesses right next to it that do the exact same thing. So this is a shopping center here. Shopping center. That's another thing you'll find is shopping centers are everywhere, man. Shopping centers are absolutely everywhere. You know, I meant to change my glasses. I was just sitting there thinking, hey, how's it going? You want to be on? Okay, give me a thumbs up, everybody. There we go. Philippines finest. Huh? Yeah. So guys, so as you see, I always ask for permission. But there's the Jollibees, guys. That's the Jollibees that's open for 24 hours. And this is, so if you want to go 24 hours to Jollibee, I need to walk down here because there's the Jollibee. I'm going to tell y'all something. Their chicken and their mango pies is the joint. Their chicken and their mango pies is the absolute joint, guys. I'm telling you. So this is how the stores look here. Got the ramps and everything. Guys, I was just like you, man. I watched literally over 1,000 videos of the Philippines, of the way things looked. There's an old Jeep there, guys. That was probably back from the war. They fix them up, get them going, and use them for transportation or use them to make money. Absolutely amazing. Okay, I need to stop right here. We got some cars turning in. So while they're turning in, guys, I'll security's checking them out, making sure everything's good. I guess I could probably walk by. I'm sure I can walk through. Thank you, sir. I'm sure I can walk through. Yeah, so We're just walking to the bottom of this hill, guys. I don't know what's down here, but I'm just showing you some sights and sounds. There's a nice looking bike right there. Nice looking bike there. This is a collection agency here. You don't want to be there, guys. You don't want to be at the collection agency. Don't want to be at the collection. So these buildings right here, these are actually houses, guys. This one's 3 stories tall. Now it doesn't look like anybody lives there, but I promise you, there are multiple families that are in that building. You basically find a spot that you can live, and then the owner will show up and tell you how much you need to pay for rent. That's pretty much the way it works. If you can find a spot, it could be a cardboard box, it could be a block brick building, multiple things. Okay, it could be multiple things, but that's how it works over here in the Philippines, because they are the masters of innovation. And when I say the masters, I'm not lying. Here's a hall right here. I guarantee you there's probably families that live back in there. There's that's another thing you'll find is lots of bakeries. You'll find lots of bakeries also. The Filipino folks love their bread. And remember I said, when you see a business, there's going to be another business that does the exact same thing right beside it. And there it was right there. There it was right there. The exact same thing. Yeah, so I had some friends that told me that I should get a bike. They said, Marky Mark, when you... Hello, sir. Yes, sir. They said, Marky Mark, when are you going to get a bike? See some men up there doing some repair work. Hard working folks, guys. Here's another hallway. I guarantee if you go down there, you're going to see more families that are living here in the Philippines. And then you'll see a church. All of a sudden, you'll see a church pop up, which is right here. There's the church. And these churches are going to be bumping next week. There's a Minute Burger right there. If you want a burger in a minute, you can get it right there. And there's another bank. Somebody around here has got some money, y'all, because there's a bank on every block, it seems like. Definitely every 2 blocks. Every 2 to 3 blocks, there's a bank. Every 2 to 3 blocks, there's a bank. So yeah, so when y'all see these buildings like this, they're not all empty. They're not all empty. Somebody has moved in or moved their family in. Somebody has moved in or moved their family in, and then somebody will show up and say, okay, you got to pay this much for rent. But yeah, so I met this lovely lady at Jollibee that I just came from, and she's a broker, and so she's going to start looking and making some phone calls for me. I let her know what my price range is, and I let her know, look, I really want to live in Dipolog. I love Dipolog, and my second favorite is Davao. But I want to be in Dipolog. I said, but in order for me to really stay here, I got to find a place that's more affordable than me staying at a hotel all the time. Okay? I got to find a place that's more affordable than me staying at a hotel, period. So I let her know what dates. I'll be available to move. I let her know what dates I'll be available to move. And so she's going to make some phone calls and see what she can do. Because I'm going to tell you, another bank, guys, what did I tell you? On every 1 to 3 blocks, it's going to be another bank. Guarantee it. Every 1 to 3 blocks, and sometimes 2 banks on 1 block. All right, guys, so I'm getting pretty much down to the bottom of this long hill that I told you about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cross over to the other side and then come back up and let you see what it looks like coming up the hill. And then after that, my legs are feeling pretty good right now. So after that, I'm going to go, I think I'm going to walk to the boulevard. I think I'm going to go back to the boulevard. Sunset will be coming pretty soon. and we'll catch the sunset over the ocean. The weather is very, very nice. As you can see, it's clear weather. Here's another little skinny hallway here. If you go to the back there, you'll see more families, more houses. But I'm not going to walk all the way to the bottom here. I'm going to hold this up there. You can see how far down it goes. You can see how far down it goes. But the people are so friendly. And especially with vloggers like myself, they just kind of look at me, you know, because they've seen vloggers come through here before, but they've never seen an African-American vlogger come through before. I dare say that I'm probably the first one. I'm probably the first one, hello, sir, to actually come through. They're serving chicken there. Look at that. Chicken looks good. Yeah. I'm probably the first African-American vlogger in a long time that's come through this part of town. I was telling the lady, the nice lady that I met when I was at Jollibee, I was telling her that, you know, I'm going to do some vlogging today. And I told her I'm going to go to some places that I haven't been before. I said, but I don't really have fear. I have respect for places. I understand that there's bad people everywhere. There's gangs everywhere. This crazy war going on. You know, there may be some radicals somewhere. And matter of fact, somebody told me yesterday, they said, well, look, if something goes down, just deny that you're an American. I said, what? She said, yeah, they don't know, just deny that you're an American. I said, trust me, when they hear my accent, they're going to know I'm an American. I said, I'm not going to deny that I'm an American. You know, hey, look, you know, if I got to fight to the death, I got to fight to the death. I joke with my two sons, guys. You know, some of y'all don't know, but I used to be in martial arts. I used to love to fight. I used to teach self-defense to women, all kinds of stuff. Y'all didn't know that about me. But at my age now, I can't be doing all that stuff. But having said that, I joke with my sons and I say, look, I might be the age that I am, but I got one last can. I got one last can of you know what that I can open up. But trust me, that will be my last can. So if it ever comes down to it where I do have to fight for my life, I'm opening up that last can. I'm opening up that last can. And yeah, I might go down. But one person, one of them bad guys is going to go down with me. I may go down on my last breath, but that one can I got left, somebody going down with me. I ain't going down by myself. So, yeah, but my sons be like, Dad, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. Hello. My son be like, Dad, you're crazy, man. I said, I'm telling you guys, I just ain't going to lay down and let them. I just ain't going to lay down. I mean, come on. I just ain't going to lay down. I ain't do all that training and stuff just to lay down on my last day. I'm going to be like that cockroach. When you spray them with that Raid, that joker keep on kicking, right? He keeps on kicking. Hey, guys, so there's a white dog up here. I got to tell y'all something kind of funny. There's a white dog up here. The Philippine dogs are different than the American dogs. Now, I know y'all might be thinking, okay, now you're making shit up. Now you're making stuff up. The Philippine dogs are different than American dogs. Number one, the Philippine dogs love to get along with the cats. Can y'all see that right there? There's always a cat near a dog in the Philippines. And they best buds. They besties. Forget that Tom and Jerry stuff or whatever it is, you know, where the dogs don't like the cats and they're fighting and everything. Here in the Philippines, the dogs and cats get along great. For all I know, they may be crossbreeding. I don't know. But the dogs and the cats get along great. The second thing that I noticed about the dogs in the Philippines. Hello, sir. The second thing that I noticed about the dogs in the Philippines, I brought some treats. You know those those fake bone treats? Y'all see the wires right there? Look at that. I don't want to touch one because I might light up like a Christmas tree. But look at that, guys. Welcome to the Philippines, guys. Welcome to the Philippines. Love it. So another thing is, so I brought some treats. I brought some dog treats from North Carolina. All the way over 8,800 miles. I brought some dog treats because I love dogs. And I know there's so many stray dogs in the Philippines. So what I said was, I'm going to carry these treats with me. And when I see a stray dog, I'm going to toss them one of the, the milk bones, so to speak, right? So I'm trying to do a good gesture for my canine Philippine friends. I'm trying to do a good gesture for them. And not a single dog, y'all, not a single one. I done been here 21 days. Not a single Filipino dog has eaten one of my treats. I'll toss it down to them. I'll talk sweet to them. And they'll sniff it. They'll sniff it again. They might even give it one lick, just one lick. And then they look at me like, you think we stupid, don't you? Now, I don't know if you ever seen a dog look at you and say, you think I'm stupid, don't you? But that's the look that these Philippine dogs gave me. They were like, dude. And I won't say what I really want to say to make this funny, but y'all know what I'm getting at. They gave me that look like, yeah, dude, this ain't no real bone. Over here in the Philly Willy, we do real chicken bones. We don't do no fake processed milk bones to give to the dog. We don't do that over here. So you can take this fake bone, back to North Kakalaki. So what I finally did yesterday, guys, I still had a whole Ziploc bag of those fake milk dud bones. I dipped it in some gravy because I had some gravy left from my dinner, from my lunch yesterday. So I dipped it in some gravy. I said, okay, this dog right here is going to eat it because I dipped it in some gravy off my own plate. You know, I dipped that bone in some gravy and I tossed it down to him. He walked up to it and sniffed it. And he looked at me. And if that dog could talk, this is what he said. You think I'm a stupid you know what? I know this ain't no real chicken bone. Take this mess back to North Carolina where you came from. That's what he said to me sublingually. Not sublingually. What's the word? Where you transfer from your mind to somebody else's mind. Not sublingual. That's like when you give them a shot. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. He transferred that thought from his brain, from his dog brain, to my pea brain and said, don't you ever try to fool me like that again. And he walked away. That was the last straw, guys. I took the rest of my milk dud, whatever you call them, dog bones, from North Carolina. I found the nearest trash recipient. Okay, I'm going to stop using words that's too big for me. I found the nearest trash can, and I disposed of that fake dog bones. I disposed of them properly. So I have none left. The Philippine dogs have taught me a lesson. Don't you come over here with that fake stuff. That's the lesson I learned. Do not come over here with that fake stuff. I apologize to all the Philippine dogs, all the canines in all 7,612 islands. Marky Mark will not ever insult your intelligence again. So guys, I hope y'all enjoyed my story. Hello. Hope you guys enjoyed my story. I hope you enjoyed my walk through the strange streets of the Philippines. I still don't know where I am, but I know I'm headed back the right way. But I hope you enjoyed my story. There's the 24-hour Jollibees right there. Jollibee, 24 hours. So that's it, guys. Everybody stay safe out there. Keep your head on the swivel. And remember, don't trust anybody 100%.